All right, thank you, Al and team. Today I am super excited. I am out front with tech life expert Stephanie Humphrey, who merges her passion for lifestyle media with in-depth tech expertise to show everyday people how empowering, enriching, and fun technology can be. Stephanie is driven by the sole purpose of connecting people, particularly those underrepresented in technology, with the tech know-how to transform their worlds. Today, Stephanie is going to help us and our kids get our lives together when it comes to social media. Welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Thanks so much for having me.
So, you know what, it's so funny because we met via tech. So I saw you on Twitter.
See, it connects our lives, right?
But I was aware of who you were, and I'd seen you do some things, but this was just like the perfect post for me to see at the perfect time. And so you are, you're talking to parents about the social media platforms that they need to be aware of when it comes to their children.
Right. Because there are, the obvious ones, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the Snapchat. And even within those, there are some things that I don't think parents understand. Like, how do you know if your kid has a Finsta? Do you even know what a Finsta is? A Finsta is a fake Instagram account. So it's a second account where, they feel a little bit more empowered to post things that may not be things that they should be posting online. So, there's that. Snapchat has a feature called Snap Maps, which will tell anybody else using the service if your kid is within range of them. So ways to track your child online. So even with the ones that you already are familiar with, you want to be sort of checking and educating yourself about some of the features of those or some of the ways that kids are using them that you may not know about.
So, well, let's start here. Tell me because I really, quite frankly, I don't have this issue because my kids want nothing to do with social media, which is just weird to me, but I'm not.
Good for you, seriously.
I'm not fighting it. But what do you think is the biggest challenge that parents have with children and social media? Is it them hiding provocative stuff?
I think it is even a little bit simpler than that. I think when parents think about kids and social media, they think they already understand the consequences and the responsibility that goes along with using it. And when they do post these crazy, reckless things, that they're doing it to be, belligerent or, disobedient or something like that. And the thing about it is, I've spoken to thousands of children, and they honestly have not even thought that far out. And that's where you start that conversation, because they haven't even thought about what's going to happen 5 years from now if somebody sees this snap, or if the wrong person took a screenshot and shares it on a different platform, or what is going to happen when I go to apply to colleges or try to get a job. They haven't even thought that far out, and they're not really thinking of themselves in terms of their personal brand, which they really should be doing even at a young age, because the things that you're doing online right now are all going to become a part of your digital footprint, which is a huge part of your personal brand. So you got to start the conversation from a low tech perspective, really, about personal branding, what that means, what that's going to get you, how that affects you throughout your life, and then apply it to what they do online and with social media.
Okay, so you spoke to it just a little bit ago, but let us dispel the myth once and for all, because we've all heard that there are ways to delete information from social media, and you can put something out there and then take it off and nobody can find it. Is that true or is that false?
No, it's not. It's not. Every social network is saving your information. I think if this whole Facebook scandal has taught us anything, is that your information is going to live online forever. Again, there are ways to screenshot things, and I know Snapchat in particular will send you a notification if someone screenshots something that you send them, so that you don't send anything else to them. But that one screenshot already happened. So if that's the one thing that is going to be potentially damaging, they already have access to it. And even beyond that, there are different apps like Snap Save that will connect to your Snapchat and allow you to save things that people send you without them knowing, without them getting a notification. The initial things that they send you, they go away, to their knowledge, but you still have them saved. So for every sort of fail-safe that a social network might try to implement to get around saving potentially damaging information, there's a technical way to get around that.
So really quickly, tell me, because I know that's kind of like well, there's a low end, as you said, but then there's a really high end of challenges that comes with social media
Yes.
when it comes to doing illegal things like bullying and sending naked pictures. Can you really just quickly give us an overview of what that looks like?
Yeah, you really need to help your children understand that there are consequences for that kind of thing. There are, 37 states out here that still have sexting laws that don't separate minors from adults. So you would be charged as an adult if that father, got a hold of that daughter's phone that you just sent that picture to and decided he wanted to make an example out of you and press charges. So you need to figure out what the laws in your state are specifically around sexting, because it could come back to bite you in the butt. LeVar Allen in Louisiana is one specific case where a young man really got himself in a lot of trouble because a dad decided to make an example out of him, and the court, had to go along with it because the laws haven't yet caught up. When it comes to cyberbullying, people are getting arrested and prosecuted for encouraging people to kill themselves, unfortunately, or encouraging fights or anything like that. They're looking at your social as any other piece of evidence that would go into an investigation around something like that happening. So, we really are at a time where you can't afford to just say kids will be kids and I was joking. Kids are being expelled from school and arrested for sending bomb threats in or school shooting threats or things like that. So there are real consequences around what to a lot of kids seems very virtual and very fantasy like when they talk about these online profiles and living online.
Right. So you recently released a report about the top 10 social media sites, I guess, that parents should know about when it comes
Yeah.
to their children. What are the top three?
So, we got the big four really: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Understand what other considerations there are around using those. But for content, Tumblr, YouTube, and Reddit, people don't really think about those things. YouTube just came under fire. 2 days ago for bestiality
Yeah.
photos being used as the thumbnails in videos on their site. So the content on Tumblr and Reddit is so out there, and so there are communities on Reddit dedicated to people that
Yes.
support different school shooters and
Yeah.
talk about ways that they can do the same thing in their school and why that person wasn't wrong, and let's support him. So there are really some dark communities. Anorexia Pro Anna is a big thing on Tumblr, and
Oh, wow.
helping girls figure out how to eat less during the day and what to do when they start feeling faint, and thigh gap pictures and things like that. So the content on Tumblr and Reddit, it gets very, very dark very, very quickly. So you really want to be keeping an eye on your child if they are frequenting these types of sites. And then there are live streaming sites: Musically, Lively, Yubo, House Party, Periscope. Anything that's encouraging live streaming is not going to give your child a chance to think before they do something.
Right.
And you have that immediate reaction from the people that are watching, and maybe somebody's telling you to take your top off, or maybe somebody's telling you to do something else. So they don't really have that time to sit and say, is this appropriate? And if somebody is recording this or screenshotting it, how is it going to affect me? They're strictly doing it for the likes, basically. So that immediacy of the live stream really can get them in trouble as well. And then you have the anonymous apps like Saraha and Lipsy and Ask.fm. Those are where anything goes, basically, because there's no age verification, there's no identity verification. Kids go on those apps specifically to get feedback on their Instagram profiles or on a picture, or they ask questions and TBH, to be honest, and it gets really mean. And then the conversation around those types of apps is, what are you going to do when you're thinking that it's only your friends that are engaged in some type of roasting or rates or something like that, but then you get 1,000 comments of people that are telling you you're fat and you're ugly, or you get 10,000 comments of people saying you should kill yourself, or your forehead's big, or whatever that is. Like, are you really going to be able to handle that? Like, adults can't handle that type
No,
of onslaught.
exactly.
So
And
you really want to help your kids understand that when they put themselves out there to be judged like that on these anonymous apps, it really can affect them in a negative way,
Right.
emotionally, mentally. I was on YouTube today, and a lot of young girls, will post a quick video to YouTube, and they'll say, I think I'm ugly. What do you think? And then literally it could be like a minute of, I like my hair and my forehead's too
Yeah,
big, and
yeah, I
you
see it
know,
all the
be,
time.
be compl- yeah, be
Yeah.
honest with me. And I don't think they really understand what that means, what they're setting themselves up for. A lot of the feedback will be positive, and no, please don't feel that way. But a lot of it gets really, really ugly and really, really mean, and kids take that kind of thing to heart.
No, they absolutely do. So I am so glad that you have stepped in to help us kind of bridge this social media gap. And I know that your report is now available, your free report. What's the website so that people can grab it?
It's tilldeathdoyoutweet.com.
I love that. Till death do you tweet. Thank you so much, Stephanie Humphrey. I mean, you really have given us some things to think about, and I'm gonna have to go Google some of the stuff that you were talking about before it confronts me. So we will definitely have you back to talk more about this tech stuff. But thank you for being on the show.
Thanks so much. It was my pleasure.
All right, Al, back to you.